and welcome to my channel. This is Darcy's Misadventures with Mixed Media. I hope you are all well today. We have been working on making some painty papers. There will be a playlist which I'm calling Mixed Media Play. And so that's all these papers I'm going to be adding to that playlist, and anything we make from these papers will be in that playlist. So far I've made some little fussy cut pieces that can be used as focal points, and then today I'm going to be doing ATCs, and also I'm thinking about bringing in some napkins, which is just a reminder that that is another possible layer. You can add napkins to a part of your paper, to the whole paper. It's a really fun way to enhance your papers. But someone requested ATCs, so I thought I would start with those. Okay, so I'm gonna grab some of my 6x6 pieces of paper that I'm not as likely to use, so that I can just collage on top of them. They're kind of a cardstock, not a super heavy cardstock. These are actually from Target. They were $1. So, you know, I like some of the pages in here, but not all of them. So I'm just going to use some of the pages I don't like. So this is the one thing where there is an actual rule. If you're doing an ATC, which is an artist trading card, which some people like to keep their artist trading cards, so then it won't matter. But then it could just be a journal card. You can just have a journal card the same size. So the only rules are that they have to be 2.5 inches by 3.5 inches, and that is so that they can slide into one of the little pockets, like for trading cards, like, you know, baseball cards and stuff, or Pokemon cards, as my son would have. And that you don't sell them. You trade them for other cards with other artists, or you keep them because you want to hoard them and you like them too much. So I'm going to cut some bases at 3.5 by 2.5. And you can do them horizontally or vertically. So this is 3.5 by 2.5. So the size and the trading, that's what makes them an artist trading card, is because of the side and that you're going to be trading it. 2.5. So I will cut some of these. And if you don't want to trade them, you just call them journal cards. I'm able to get 3 ATCs and a little square out of the one 6x6. And the reason I want them blank on the back is so that I can write my information, because that is the other thing. When you are making artist trading cards, you generally want to put your information on the back, whether it's just your name and the date that you made it, or and a little strip too. So these little strips you end up with, you can use for clusters. Usually you put your name and the date, at least. You might put your social media information on there, your state where you live in, whatever. That kind of stuff you can put on there as well. I don't think I'm going to make more than these, so I'm just going to put this one back over here. And then I'm going to just start by collaging some of my painty papers onto these. Like I said, they can go either direction. So maybe we will do 3 in one direction and 3 in the other direction. It won't matter right now what direction they're going. They're just going to get some painty papers. So I have these two that are like similarly in color, but you might not want to go just similarly in color. You might also want to go to contrasting. And so, I don't know, we'll try a couple different things. So I'm just going to start just by ripping some things up and gluing them down. I'm going to use, there's no paint on these, so these should be fine. If these don't have paint on the back, they should stick pretty fine. If they don't, I'll add some art glitter glue. But for now, I should be fine with just glue stick. And I usually use Scotch Create. Some people like Oohoo. Sometimes I use Oohoo too, because it depends on which one is affordable at the moment. I'm in the US, and I can usually get a 4-pack of this size glue stick, which is the 1.41 ounce. 4-pack for about $12 on Amazon. I won't pay more than that. Sometimes they switch it and there's only one for $12, and I'm like, no, nice try, people. I'm not falling for your trickery. And then when we're using the painty papers, you don't have to just use the painty papers. You can also use just kind of like some plain book page with it as well for some contrast even. I'll do a couple of these. I mean, even just like that, it looks cool too. This has a little bit more. And if you're new to collage, just start with 2 pieces. Collage doesn't have to be a whole bunch of million pieces of paper. You can totally start with just 2 until you get the hang of it and do things you like more. Okay, let's take a piece of this from yesterday and stick that on there. That does have some paint on the back. So if this, because acrylic paint is basically plastic, so if this doesn't stick well, I will just add some, you know, where it comes up, I'll add some art glitter glue, which is a fast drying glue. Do I have one here to show you? Usually. Can I ever find it? Never. It doesn't have any glitter in it, and it does cost more. And if you want to order some, you can buy the bigger bottles to refill the smaller bottles. Then they do usually have it where you can buy a set with the refill bottle, a smaller bottle, and the little metal tip. And that's why a lot of us like it, is because of the metal tip. Because the metal tip allows for some precision gluing and gluing, you know, in small places. And then this is just a cover for knitting needles, I think is what it is. You can get those at the craft store. The smaller one fits the metal tip nicely. The bigger ones probably would fit like the tacky glue, which I don't have that on here, but you know, like for this size, you'd want to get like the bigger knitting needle cover. And they usually come 2 in a pack, sometimes 4 if there's the 2 sizes. So this is what art glitter glue looks like. And if you want to order some, you got to do it before it gets too cold, because they won't ship it to anywhere that is less than 41 degrees. Because if it freezes, it messes up, and they don't want to be wasting this product because it's not super cheap either. Oh, if I can find the coupon. There's a lady that does have, if you go into Makers of Mixed Media Art and Artists Facebook group, there is somewhere in there, there's somebody put out a coupon code, but I think you probably need to go to Makers to find that. Sorry, not sorry. I'm in that group. It's a really great group. You can share your art with lots of people. It's a lot of fun, a lot of really nice people in there, a lot of positivity. So with artist trading cards, you're just doing what you like. You're making it the way you like it. You're basically sending somebody a piece of you. So it's your style, and you're trading with them, and they're sending you something in their style. If you don't want to do artist trading cards, but you like doing like this size, just put them in your journal, and they're just journal cards. You could even make them, you know, keep them together and make them a double journal card. We'll do that at some point. Let's see. I do kind of want to do a little bit of napkin. I got to remember the napkins. Don't forget the napkins, Darcy. Don't forget the napkins. Let's see. We've also got a lot of pink. Don't have to stick with the... And you can see I'm just kind of just doing 2 pieces because it's super easy. And if I want to add another piece, I can. If I want to add a neutral piece, I can. You know, there's no rules. You're making stuff, and then we can add more layers. Do I want to go all matchy with that? No, I don't. At least not that matchy. But I do want to make sure I have some, you know, let's just go ahead and try a piece of this. This doesn't matter which direction it goes. Let's see. Normally I would have like glue pages under here. Like right now this is getting all sticky. I don't want that. If you don't want to get glue on your stuff, don't glue on your stuff. Famous Words by Tara Jacobson. Artsy Fartsy Life. Ooh, do I want to do this on one? I like that the numbers are showing. I actually went ahead and did these so I thought they'd have more numbers. But I kind of like that bright orange piece too. So let's just take a more square piece this time. and go this way because I've been doing the long way. Let's do one more this direction, the shorter way here. I do like my numbers and words to be straight when I glue them down. That's one of my little idiosyncrasies. It's okay to have some idiosyncrasies. That should fit on there. Does it match perfectly? No, it doesn't have to. You do you, boo. You do what makes you happy. Doesn't mean it won't look good together. I mean, this is basically orange and blue, and that's black and blue, and put a little bat or spider on there. It'd be super cute if you wanted to be Halloween-y, but then there's also little paisley delicate bits on there with the forest foliage stencil in the back there, and it's just all fun and good in the neighborhood. Let's see. Ooh, let's do, this will kind of be a little bit more calm over here. I'm just gonna, yeah, I really should take out a piece of paper to use for glue instead, and then I'll just cut off all the bits. And some of these bits will be, especially the ones I didn't glue, will be big enough to use in a cluster. We will do clusters at some point. If you have a piece of ephemera you would like me to make with these painty papers, say so in the comments. I want to say her name is Nina. She requested ATCs, and so that's what she's getting. Someone requested. I'm happy to do it. I'm just, so we can go totally orange on that one. Why not? Just orange and brown. Oh, can you see? Yes, I think you can. Yeah, she keeps saying she's going to get a glue page to use with this, and then she doesn't. And they're not that far either. They're just right by my feet. My washi tape just fell over and opened when I was trying to grab my glue pages. And the only problem with my glue pages is the book in here is the same size as the basket. And so that made it a little bit harder to grab out of the basket. You can use washi tape on your ATCs. You can use more glue, more paint, more whatever. Like I said, there's no rules. All right, let me just grab some papers for sticking under here while I'm finishing up. And you don't even have to do the collage part. You could just paint right on there. Like I said, it's a little piece of you that you are sending off to somebody else, and they're sending a little piece of, because that's what art is. Art is you expressing yourself. So therefore, it's a piece of you. You want to burnish that glue down. I think what I've heard is glue needs pressure and maybe a little warmth. So, you know, if you're not a vampire, then use your hand for that for that body temperature to warm up that glue a little bit and get it pressed down really well. I'm assuming vampires are not as warm as we are. No shade to the vampires, but ooh, I love this. This was like some reds and oranges and browns and a little black. Oh, just love it. I kinda want to just cover something totally with just this, but did I cut enough cards? No, we'll use that later. Oh, Dad is making a mess. I don't know what Dad's doing. Let's look at some browns, which turn kind of green with and the reds. Oh, love it. Love that for fall. I love that for us. Love that for fall. Oh, here we go. It's got a little bit of turquoise in here, which might make it work. And blue and yellow are nice together. I know they must be because our school colors in middle school were gold and blue. I mean, that's, if you're wondering what colors go together, look at school colors. I mean, they don't always look good together because they do like the primary colors. And sometimes when you're using complementary colors or colors that work well together, you kind of want more sometimes you don't want the primary or the tertiary, the secondary color. You know, like green would be two primary colors put together, which makes them what, a secondary color or a tertiary? I don't know. I'm not the color theory guru. I know some things. I know just enough to get in trouble. Or to stay out of trouble, maybe. Alright. And so some people might love that together. Some people might not. But you don't know unless you try. So sometimes I just do things because I want to try them. I can add a little paint to that. Add a little bit of, let's see. Add a little bit of butterflies maybe. I've already taken these butterflies off of, I've already taken off the back. So when you use napkins, you do want to make sure, I think orange would be really good on here. You do want to make sure that you take off the plies, like if it's 2-ply, 3-ply, whatever. I don't know if I want that flower or not. So a lot of people, you'll see when they use napkins, they rip them, or they use like a water brush or a brush with water just to get a not straight edge, because we just don't like straight edges. But you don't have to do that. You could totally have straight edges if you wanted to. Now if I use Mod Podge or gel matte medium to attach this, I'm more likely to have it be seen through, golden gel matte medium. And if I just use glue stick, I'll like the feeling of it better, but I might not get quite as see-through as this. So I don't know what I want to do. I'm going to start with this and see how it does. I don't want it. I want the whole butterfly there. And this is like the edge of the napkin, so there's little bumps on there. That's okay. I'm hoping some of that will show through. Let's see. Let's just, don't have to have a brayer for this, but I can kind of get it to flatten out a little bit more, maybe, if I have a brayer. You don't really, and if you want to use something to press it down, like a card, you don't want to do it on the napkin side. You would want to turn it over, preferably on something that's not sticky, and maybe even plastic or whatever, and then, you know, burnish it down on this side. Because if you burnish it down on this side, you're just going to rip your napkin. So that, I can feel that the glue has come through to this side. But I've lost a lot of the color back. Well, you can see some of it. I think I'm going to let it dry and then see how it looks. The brayering might have helped a little bit. And once it's dry, I would probably use a nail file. You can cut it with scissors, or you can use a file, nail file, or piece of sandpaper to just do, but you gotta wait till it dries. Alright, I am going to cut the edges off of these and be right back. Another way to get these started would be to take one of your collage boards, collage master board, collage board, however you want to call it, and cut those down to the 3.5 by 2.5 inch size, and then you've already got it started. You don't have to stress about what you're using. It's already glued down, and you can just start from there with that. That is another option. And like I said, also just the painty option. You could just start with paint. They don't have to be mixed media either. They could be all paper. They could just be all painted. You could do a watercolor one. Like I said, it's your style. Sorry for anybody that this noise bothers. I guess next time I'll try to say mute if this noise bothers you. Or fast forward. It's only for a second. I just kind of go down like this. And then that gets the excess off. And then as long as it's dry, I don't think mine's totally dry yet. But like if I wanted to, which is I want the not rough side. I could kind of come and do the edges a little bit to just make it a little bit more roughed up, or maybe have some of the napkin come off so that some of the back part shows a little bit more. Because I use kind of a dark napkin on that. But that's alright. So that's an option. But you do want to make sure it's totally dry. And you probably won't want to go over any parts that you want to keep. Like the butterfly, I'm kind of putting my finger there, making sure it's dry. Because if you put your finger on there when it's still wet, you're probably going to put a hole in it. You got to be careful with napkins. That's all I'm saying. Napkins are tricky. So like I kind of want, do I dare go for the rougher side? Oh, let's try it. I was using the less rough side of the emery board. I get these like a pack of 10 or a pack of 12 on Amazon. You don't have to use these. You could totally just use sandpaper. A finer grit is gonna be a little bit, like, go from a fine grit to a rough grit if you're trying to see how much you could use, basically. You know, as you're practicing. Maybe not on the one you know you want to send, but do some practicing on some napkin and see the effects you get. Like, see how that's tearing off there? I'm okay with that. That is, whoops. All right, I'm going to be okay with this too. Just gives it a different look up there. That went all the way down to the white core of this paper, which is fine. And so I've got it ripped here, ripped here. I kind of want it to do that in one more place. There's a reason that there's the rule of threes in art. Something about it being pleasing to the eye, not just because Patricia says. So I've got a little rip part in 3 places, and that will get taken care of. We can see how that works with just going over the paint a little bit, kind of rough it up a little bit if you want to. Of course, you know, this was just book page, so that's just tearing right off, which might be a look we want. Or it might not be. I don't know. Might be a little much. That's okay. We can always cover it up. But what I wanted to kind of show you was that on this, we'll try this one here. It's a little bit stronger page. So here we go. We got that nice, and it's right here, especially you can see, taking away some of the glossiness and just some of the. Oh, I started using the wrong side. That's why that happened. You normally wouldn't go at it like I'm doing, but I'm not scared. You notice when I go this way, it tears the paper more, so I'm just trying to kind of... Alright. It was a lot of orange anyway, so we're okay with that. I'm okay with it. Kind of want, there we go. Wanted to rip off some more down there, because why not? Then I went hacking at it. Alright, so that is like... Don't worry about that. Let's see. This has really textury, thick paint there. I don't want to mess that up. Let's take the... Alright, so it's kind of shiny and it's really nice and solid there. So I'm going to take the... I'm going to start with the finer grit because I'm not sure exactly how much I want to happen. And I'm going to go out. I'm not going to come in from the edges like I was doing before, because I think that's where part of my problem was. There's a little bump under there. That's kind of getting... I'm going out to the edges. That's making a difference. I'm getting a little bit worn piece, but I didn't lose like a giant chunk. Alright, I'm going to take a chance and use the rougher grit. Nope. Finer grit. Stick with your finer grit. Or you're going to lose all your paper. Okay, like I said, it's just a test. We're just testing to see what happens. That's all. You got to experiment. You don't know. So I know a lot of you are going to be like, I'm not sanding my stuff. You're like, definitely not doing that now. That's okay. Until you see like how these end up. And you'll be like, oh, well maybe. Like this is a lot right here with the finer grit. Just down here on this one. Just a little bit in circles going towards the outside. Okay. It's sticky, it's sticking, whatever. So we've got our pieces. This has got our butterfly. This needs a little bit of something, and that's got the paper coming off. So we're gonna do something with that. It might even be a little bit of ink. This is Touch Jade. It's a little bit turquoise, but not totally. So it's going to hit that paper way differently than it's going to hit the... And I could even dip it. I wouldn't have to spray it. I mean, it is staying on the orange too, making it more brown. Not sure how I feel about that. But I had to try it, you know? You have to try things. You don't know what's going to happen unless you try it. There we go. A lot of the orange is coming back now because I wet it to get the ink off the orange. There we go. Much better now. It's very, it's like an abstract pumpkin. It's giving me abstract pumpkin at the moment. I'm going to set that aside to dry. Let's see, do I want to, let's see. As you can tell, I have no plans when I do this. Let's see, this, I think I want to do the spray again, but I might be a little bit more precise when I do it. And just kind of bring in a little bit of and just take that and just kind of dab it on there. Be careful when you do this so you don't spill it, especially if your sponge is not as wide as your cover. I'll finish a sentence once in a while. I don't promise it all the time. Only spraying it because I want to wipe off the ink that's on the paint, so it's, there we go. So now that is what we have there. And so we have our abstract pumpkin and, hey, an abstract squash. You can do abstract, you can put a focal point, not put a focal point. It is totally up to you what you do. Like I said, no rules. You could add some mark making. Let's add some mark making to this. This is just, I think, the stencil. It's a broken off piece of a stencil that's, I believe it's in the shop. I can't make any promises, but I think that it is. Let's see. We've got kind of orangey, blue, I think that's Payne's Gray, and fuchsia. I don't really want to bring in another color necessarily. Maybe Payne's Gray. The trick with using a fluid acrylic when you're going through a stencil is, I don't know. I think it's using a gel plate. But I know a lot of people don't have a gel plate. So we are just going to do our best and put some on there, take some off, make it really super thin so that it hopefully won't spread underneath. Taking some off. Because the thinner your paint is, the more chance of it going under the stencil. And if you've ever tried using paint in a stencil, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, see, it kind of got smushed under there. It's because I'm using a fluid acrylic, but that's okay. Let's see, let's bring a little bit of this to this side. I could have used also an ink. I do have an ink that is a dark blue. Maybe not as dark as the Payne's Gray, but it's pretty dark. So that one's not quite as dark. So that just added to the background, kind of married these two pieces together a little bit by having it on both pieces, even though they were very different pieces to begin with. Let's think. What if, actually, no, let's just go into our, let's see, we have black, blue, turquoise, and orange. Black, blue, turquoise, and orange. I don't know where my turquoise is. Could just do some black. Add some black. And then, so if I just do some mark making, and I go over the two pieces, and kind of be on both pieces, that'll help unify it a little bit to make it feel more like one piece, even though we have two very different pieces that we didn't coordinate. And this one we did coordinate. We've got the blues and the creams and the blacks on there. And like I said, if it starts coming off somewhere, I just add a little bit of art glitter glue, or tacky glue would work. Just something stronger than glue stick, to make sure that that does not come off. Some circles are good in a couple different places. at least. It doesn't have to be in 3. Something else is going to go on top of it. There's going to be other mark making kind of a things. Now this is more naturey, even though we have the other colors in the back. Oh, I've got that white showing, don't I? So let's go ahead and grab some distress inks. This time I'm going to use a dry distress ink. There's no right or wrong. This I had black on, but that's okay. So I'm just going to it's going to be darker right now because there was black on this before. So just kind of give it a vignette. Nice dark vignette. You don't have to do framing or edging or inking on your pieces, but you totally can. Even if the person you're sending it to does not like inking, you're sending them a piece of you. So you do you, boo. That's the important thing, is you're doing you. Because that's the whole point of an artist trading card, is to send a little piece of you. Now I'm going to grab out my, I'm pretty sure this is my gesso. Oh, I just totally hit you guys. Sorry about that. Alright, I don't need a lot. I just want a little bit. Because I want to do something to just kind of take this back, in the back a little bit. What? I don't know. But it's really dark. It's a little too dark. And even if I lose like the butterfly and everything around it, I'm okay. It would still be a background, and it's all about the background, isn't it? I'm just kind of, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just putting some paint on here, and almost like I would a brayer, except I'm trying to avoid the butterfly. And at some point I will probably get to the point where like I don't care about the butterfly anymore. I just don't like it. So I don't love it. I don't mind the butterfly. It's this other part is too much. And I don't think that I can really get it off without losing the paper behind it. So we'll just bring in some other paper. Like a lighter paper especially. Just kind of bring that in. The butterfly will still show. And it'll be all good in the neighborhood. Yeah, since I got gesso on there, I'm going to go ahead and use my art glitter glue. I'm just going to kind of do the edge here and the edge here. A little bit up there. Just so I get everything covered without going too far off the page here. And straight would be nice. I do prefer straight. Wasn't sure exactly how far in I wanted to go either. There we go. It's okay if you get halfway done and you're like, oh, I don't like something. You can fix it. You can be Bob the Builder. Just channel Bob the Builder. Start singing. Can we fix it? Yes, we can. So I'm just going to reiterate the only rules for an artist trading card, which when you hear people say ATC, that's what they're talking about. That is 2.5 by 3.5, can go either direction, and that you don't sell them. That they're for trading or keeping. Some people keep them. But you can do journal cards. Just don't call them ATCs. You just call them journal cards if you're going to, you know, if you do want to sell them. You can sell journal cards that way. You just don't call them ATCs. You know, I am pretty sure I had 6 of these. There they are. Alright, so this one, I know what I want to do on that one since it's like a pumpkin-y thing. Alright, I'm pulling out my jack-o'-lanterns from Tim Holtz and my embossing powder, although the color doesn't matter so much. And then I want them to show up really well. I do have brown on here. So I've got this really dark brown, which I think could work. I also have black, but I kind of don't want to, well, I mean, black would show really well. This is a primary ebony super fine, and this one is Lindy's, and it has a little bit of sparkle to it. So I'm going to try Lindy's, see how that goes. Although this one would be kind of cool too. It's Garden Patina, and it would bring out some, oh man. You know, I might do something like some dots or something like that. But the pumpkin itself, I think I want brown. And, ooh, remember I said this one kind of looks like squash? Well, there is kind of a squash one, so let's do the squash one on that one. And, oh, he's happy. Should we do the happy one? Like, he's really happy. He's demented. He's happy too, though. Let's see. They're kind of small, though. Oh, we want to do one sideways. We could do two. We could totally do two happy ones. That'd be kind of fun. I'm gonna use my heat gun on these so that so they're dry, because if this is wet at all, it is going to this stuff is going to stick to all the wet areas, this embossing powder. So will they fit? Because they look so happy. Do I want to put, I don't know, we can decide that afterwards. So these are Tim Holtz. I don't have, oh, I do have it. Pumpkinhead CMS309, if you are interested in that. Alright, so I'm going to dry these and be right back with the heat gun. Here's the thing, I want to be able to see it, make sure I get it on there clearly, so I'm not going to use my embossing. I'm going to use my VersaFine Clair, as long as it's wet. That's the important thing. And also I switched this out, so it would be a scary one and a cute one. So then when it says trick or treat, see, trick or treat, yeah, then it'll make more sense. Alright, and I am going to want to use an acrylic block for this so that I get them on there really well. Let's hope that this fits. The little one does. I'm going to have to find a bigger one for the bigger one. Alright, so trick one goes over here. And I don't have, a lot of people you'll see use this little bean bag type thing. It's just a little bag with cornstarch in it just to help get away any static. I don't have that. So we're just going to do our best with this. And also when you have collage on there, I probably would have been better if I had put a little piece of foam under here. Because there's a good chance that the bumps from the collage paper is going to affect my stamping. I just need to get it wet everywhere. Looks like it did. Looks like it did a really good job. It seems to me like it's a better print when I use regular ink as opposed to the embossing ink. And the only time you really have to use a clear embossing ink, see, he kind of got stuck on there, is when you're using clear embossing powder. If you're using a brown embossing powder, go ahead and use brown ink. Kind of comes out a little bit clearer, I think. Oh my goodness, we're stuck on here. And I don't need to dry that right away. I can go ahead and stamp my next one and get my powder on there for my next one, and everything just goes back in here. And if you don't want it to spill all over your desk, you put the cover on it every time. It's a pain in the butt, but you do it to so you don't go crazy. Alright, I'm just gonna tap that a little bit, not super hard. I just kind of want, I think it's alright. I don't think it's, there's a little sparkle around him, but I think that's okay. Most of the actual embossing stuff has gone on the stamp itself. Alright, just put it sideways and hope for the best. Okay, so I'm gonna stamp the next one. This little squash, I'm definitely gonna have to find a bigger whatchamacallit for him. Okay, and just doing my best to get it where I want it. This is where the clear stamp acrylic ink thing, what do they call these? Stamping blocks, acrylic stamping blocks. If they're not too dirty, you can see through them, so you can see where you're putting your piece. Make sure it's where you want it. Okay, I'm missing a little bit of it, maybe not, I don't know. He looks pretty decent. And don't worry about how much you're using, because you use your, don't put your finger on him. Oh my goodness. Maybe it's still wet enough to. Alright, I think we're okay. They're not perfect. That's okay. I knew on a collage piece they were not going to be perfect. Alright, and we put the cover on to be safe. Now I'm going to heat. All right, if you don't like the noise, you can fast forward or you can turn your volume down. I'm going to start underneath so I don't blow. First of all, I'm going to hold this away from me and let it heat up for a second. Although I used it a minute ago, so it's already pretty heated. And then I'm going to start underneath because I just don't want to blow all my pieces away. And then you just kind of get it hot till you see it change from wet to, or from dry to wet. It really looks more wet actually. But you can see it change from a powder, from the powder to the gloss. So you're applying heat and then you're going from dry to wet, really. It just looks, but don't touch it. Don't touch it until it's cooled off, because if you do, you're going to mess it up. But how cute are they? Do we want to add a trick or treat to it? Because that was our little... Now for this, oh shoot, I shouldn't have done that. I think for this, I do want to use the patina. I think that would be fun. So let's go ahead and, if I use brown with this, it's going to change the color of this. So if I want to use something a similar color to this, I could just use something with green, or I could just go ahead and use my clear. This one looks like one that's kind of clear embossing. I hope that's straight. I didn't use my acrylic block. I should have, because otherwise you're going to get, I don't know, you'll push it down and get stuff from wherever. I forgot to put the paper under it. Also, you want to have your paper under it so you have a place to get your powder. How do we do? Okay, it's all there. Yay. All right. So if this happens, you just take a little piece of paper and treat it like a little dustpan, and just try to get it up the best you can, or go to the edge of the desk and put it on your paper. Either way, get it on some paper and you can just put it back in there. It's all good in the neighborhood. All right, you want to see this one get heated? Because it will. I know you're thinking, but I can't see it. But it's a brighter green, so it should show. Cute. I always forget to use these in the fall, and then I'm like, why didn't I use these? That's so cute. Alright, ATC card for Halloween. Who knew? I know not everybody's into Halloween, and that's okay. So for him, I had the boo out. Where'd the boo go? Put a piece of paper under here. Put a piece of paper under here. Where's the paper? I'm gonna have a piece of paper under here to catch your little bits. Alright. Ooh, we could do a leaf on one. That would be fun. Could even do the leaf behind him, but I don't want to. I like that he's squash. I think I will use the green on him. I just think that would be kind of fun. And see, this smushes down all the way to that background, and that's why you want an acrylic block, because otherwise you are potentially going to smush it down in those spaces, and you want it flat. I don't know where my other acrylic blocks are right now because I'm a terrible acrylic block mom, so I'm just going to use the top of this to press it down so I have a flat, even surface for pressing. Pressing with purpose. I can see it's wet. And grab my patina, because I think it'll just be fun. Where'd the boo go? Boo! I had a boo. It's a tiny little stamp that is somewhere on this desk. Oh, here he is. Hey, it wasn't so far gone. Boo, boo, boo. Make sure there's none of that on there. I'm just gonna get that down on there. When you see me do this, I do it lightly. I don't like do it super So I think he's going to come out cute. You do kind of want to wipe off the embossing ink, because it's kind of more sticky than regular ink. So it's a good idea. I don't know why my printer is like making noise. I don't think anyone's trying to print. I don't even know if my dad knows what printer that is, like, because the one upstairs had the blue screen. So I unplugged it. When I plug it back in, it may work. Okay, you'll have to tell me in the comments if you like when I do the heat gun on screen, or if you prefer me to do it off screen. Just a warning, about to start it. Go. If you're wondering, yes, it is hot. Gross. I'm like, I do have tweezers. I do not have to burn myself. You can see this one get a little bit lighter. Now, I think if you were, whoops, hold on. Yeah. You don't want to overheat it either, unless you like that texture, because you'll get like extra bubbles that you might not want. So there he is. I think that's super cute. And that's like a really cute ATC card. It's got like this little, I could do some doodling down in here, which would actually be kind of a cool idea. Especially if I get like this brown color here, I would probably use that. Or a darker orange, but like a really light color. But I don't think I have a fine, this might be the finest brown I have, and I don't think it's the darkness. The dark, I don't think it, yeah, I don't, well, it's almost, it would work. I don't know. I think I want something finer than that. It could potentially work. Don't know. Well, we could just do, could even just do dots. Don't even have to do anything really, but let's go ahead. Doesn't have to fill the whole thing. Doesn't even have to be the same thing all the way up, but it can be. I'm just doing it really light so I don't get too splodgy. I'm not worrying about if I'm going different directions every time or going the same direction. I'm just making little swirls all the way down. There we go. It's totally different now. I'm like, who knew? You know, you add a little something in there, it just adds a little something. If I want to bring that color over here, well, first of all, just kind of fill that in with that color. That's another way to fill that in. Could just kind of, don't know if that's going to show down there. Just adding some circles here and there of that color on other parts of the card. There, did it in three. 1, 2, 3, 3 places. That's for, you know, that's cute. Oh, that squash one's one of my favorite ones. Alright, so there's 2 ATC cards. A little bit of me, because that's just, when I did the colors, that's what came to mind to use for those. Here we have the butterfly. This one's not really quite as fall, although you can have butterflies in the fall. Can the butterfly be coming down? Yes. Can the words be upside down? Yes. It's background. Your words can be and do whatever. Like maybe we want to, nope, he's too big. Do we have a smaller mushroom that could maybe go here? And then the butterfly is just kind of in the, but then I put that lighter paper back there, so I'd want a darker something, I think. What? I don't know. But that's okay. I don't have to figure that out right this second. But a mushroom is an idea with the butterfly coming down towards the mushroom. Or, let's see, I have, or you could do a word. I mean, I do have the Tim Holtz mushrooms here. So those could potentially work. Or, could do a word. Could even do a word A lot of people do like to do a word or sentiment on their, what are these called? ATCs. Words are hard. Inspire. We'll just do a little inspire on here. We've got that orange. Maybe we'll bring the orange up. Should we bring the orange up? Do we have orange? We do. Well, we have clay. This clay could work. Also, I've got, I think this is copper. I think this is also copper. Copper would be good. I might go with that copper, which I don't have it on the top there, but that's okay. All right, so I need my little thingamabob here. And if it doesn't stick, just add a little bit of glue stick, and then it should stick. If you want to be able to line it up, you might want to, you know, at least have it straight with the lines. If you have lines, not everybody has lines on. Whoops, that's getting all. There we go. Just want it on that. I don't want it all over that. All right, let's hope. I don't want to have it way at the top. I kind of want to have it right there. Looks good. With purpose, just trying to get the stamp and not whatever might have got on that part. That stays wet a little bit longer than some of the other stuff. And then I was going to do copper, right? Where'd the copper go? Where'd it go? It's right there. Okay. I don't know if you guys can hear that phone. Anytime you hear that particular phone, that's my husband's work phone. Just means someone is not answering the phone like they should. Because sometimes the other people that are working aren't very good at getting the phone right away. I don't know why. Sometimes they're on another call, but sometimes the person working at home, sometimes there's someone working at home and someone working on site, and the person working at home can sometimes get a little lazy. Sorry, but they do. Sorry, not sorry. You don't know who he works for, so you don't care. And it's not like his boss is gonna ever watch me. Alright, that did not come out super clear, but you know, it's still kind of fun. When it dries, I could go ahead with a black marker and outline it a little bit if I want to, but it's not bad either. Adds a little bit of sparkle. What if I want more sparkle? What if that's not enough for me? What if I want to add a little bit more? I have these distress embossing pens, and this one's kind of messed up. I'm just going to add a little bit in the corners here. It's not perfect. And do a little bit there just to kind of frame it a little bit. That is a lot, a lot drier than the ink pad, so we'll see. Not bad, not bad. And of course, I got some off the paper. That's a pain. It's not the end of the world, but it is a little bit of a pain. Bloop, 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 bloop. Make noises when you clean it up. It's more fun. You will want to wipe everything down with a damp cloth after you've used embossing powder, or you will feel like there is sand on your desk for ages. Ask me how I know. Alright. Oh, crap. Sorry, didn't mean to say that. It's so fun to see the metallics change color, especially. Probably should have used a, alright, so, whoops, and now we have the copper in 3 places. So that's not bad. I could doodle on that some more, whatever, make it your own. Add more stamping, whatever it is you like to do. Now, where have all the ATCs gone? I don't know, they're under here. Alright, I want to be done with the embossing. You know it's important if you see me wiping it off. You know, then you know. You know. You know. You know. Okay. See, I put those little Halloween ones off to the side, you know, to kind of be in a safe place. And guess what? They're not safe. They're the opposite of safe. Alright, these need to all go back on their thing when I'm done. Will they? Probably not. But keep them together at least. Okay. So we've done a napkin, we've done some embossing. You can do embossing on your cards, on your journal, and everything is how about, is this too big for an ATC? It's on the verge of being too big. Let's see, what do we have that might be a little bit smaller? See, this would be kind of like bring something vibrant and fun. That is not any of the colors on that. There is a little bit of orange in this. See, we could bring even like half this flower or something. Oops. Don't worry, he's fine. This needs to go on something bigger. Where are the other pieces that I've got in here? We have this guy. He's got a little bit of this similar color in him, so I actually like him for that. And then he just would need a really short... Oh, he has it too, but it's on the opposite side. And I think I like this one better. And I like it up here to bring this color up there. He just kind of needs a short little stubby bottom. He needs a bottom. And maybe something in that dark range. Oh, maybe I could even make a bottom out of something that has that black ink on it. Alright, I think this will work. So I'm just going to cut off a little piece of this. And I could just keep it a little stumpy, or I could make it more curvy, thinner, fatter. Well, I can't make it fatter from that piece, but I mean I could cut another piece that's a little bit fatter. I think I want it to curve a little bit. There we go. And this ripped paper bit at the bottom, I don't mind that. I like my things to be a little bit wonky if they can be. Alright, what did I use for this? I used the skinny black. I don't know where that is. It's just Posca. P-O-S-C-A. I'm not saying pasta. I'm saying Posca. And everything's sandy here because of the embossing powder. It's all over. Which I could just even heat this piece up just to make it stick. You know, I'm going to use art glitter glue to glue this on. This piece wouldn't be so difficult. It's the other piece has, it's a thicker cardstock because it's Tim Holtz paper. Okay. A little bit wonky. We're just going to go in towards the middle a little bit. And I could leave it like that. I could add a sentiment. I can do whatever I want because I made it. And it's, you know, for whatever. I will probably, they'll either go in a journal as journal cards, or, ooh, that blue is kind of similar to that blue. So I don't mind this. Needs a stem and a leaf, but not this leaf. That leaf is too big and weird. This could actually work as a leaf because that's kind of tulipy. It's those circles I don't like. Well, that covers up some of the circles. That's not bad. Words are upside down in the back. We don't care. So that's okay. This is almost like a little tulipy leaf. And then I could, it's background. Words can be upside down in the background. That's, and I'll just draw. I'll draw the stem in. That's fine. This is on cardstock. So if you missed yesterday's video, that is where I made these little, Sundays. Anyway, the previous video in this series. See, if you did something you don't like it, just cover it up. Alright, I don't mind if a little bit of that circle shows. Alright, and then take this black here and make a stem. And we can pretend like that circle is in front of it. We can do the stem on either side. And yeah, the leaf is not attached. Don't know. I think it's too late to pull it off. Ooh. Oh, That never happens. Usually if you want to change something, the art glitter glue has dried and you have no choice but to leave it where it is. But for this one time, I can come on in and do that and have it attach a little bit better. Oops, well, sorta. Yeah, we'll just color that. That'll have a black stem. That's fine. I'm going to make the rest of this circle here too. Just kind of incorporate that a little bit. Because why not? There we go. He's kind of cute. Alright, we got one more. We haven't done many this way, have we? We should do one more. It's like a little bloodbath here, isn't it? But it could be kind of... didn't we have some leaves? We had some leaves. They're not the right color. I mean, that would just... I don't like that on there. Color-wise, does not work for me. I said go this way. See, isn't that a cute? It could be, see, now I did that. I kind of like, it could be a stem. It's too big for this, but it could be a stem for a flower or a mushroom. I mean, your flowers could totally have, see, a little mushroom, skinny at the top, works. Or if you want to make it a stem for one of your whimsical flowers, totally could. Let's see. We've got, nope, he's too big. It's too big. Alright, I saw something in my, weirdly, in my basket that has my glue pages. There's a kitten in there. There's nothing saying you can't add a cute little picture of like, oh, see, and he's a little more neutral to bring together some of all that background chaos. And, well, we don't want it to look like it's in heat, so I'm going to have the pink be at the top. And we can doodle in that pink spot so it looks less like a big blob and a little bit more purposeful. But I think he's super cute. I'm gluing him on there. Like I said, there's no rules. You can you could take magazine images and put them on there. It's whatever makes you happy. If it's something that makes you laugh, do that. Right, Becky? Right, Laura? Yeah, do stuff that makes you laugh. Definitely. And your corners, you can leave them pokey, you can curve them, you can angle them. You just probably want to do the same thing to each corner. You can even do like a little decorative thing happening. Where did my cover to my glue go? Anybody? Bueller? There it is. Oh, I think I see another leaf. I have, oh crap. Stop saying that word, Darcy. I broke the end off, so I was like not happy about that. Oh, see, but now it could be a mushroom top instead of a leaf if I wanted it to. Oh man. See, wouldn't that be a cute mushroom? Oh, that'd be a super cute mushroom. Not mad that that broke. It's too tall for one of these. That could be for a tag in the future. Future. Do we dare? I can never line these up quite right. So you kind of want to make sure that that is like that, and then you have to press really, really hard. So you got to make sure it's in there perfectly. And then you got to press it down really hard, especially when you have layers upon layers. And then sometimes it's so hard to do that you're like, you know what? It's just going to have one corner like that. Let's see. We'll try this one. Oh, I have to stand up every time. All right. Do we dare try it? Usually when I try to do all four corners, you know what happens? That last corner. See, you can do your corners however you want. That last corner always ends up getting cut wonkily. Oh, there we go. There we go. I think I actually did it. See, yeah, I did. I got all my corners good. And you could ink them, not ink them, whatever you want. So there we go. ATCs in this very long video. And do them how you like. An ATC, artist trading card, is a piece of you. Took me a minute. So here these are. I hope you all have a delightful day. Love you. One. I did one landscape. That's it. All the rest are portrait. That's just how my brain works.